Hello once again everyone, and welcome to the Sanctuary. Once again we are playing Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn as a bit of a trip down memory lane. Shall we recap the rules? I think we shall. First and foremost, I am doing this on Chris Valentine under New Game Plus rules. I am doing this as Meteor's job. So I'm running as Warrior. All of my duties are either solo or through duty support, with the exception of normal raids, alliance raids, and dungeons that do not support it. And finally, I'm using quest or patch level appropriate gear only. No, I'm still wearing the knocked gear in this expansion, or at least this patch. Anyway, let's move on to what we're actually here for. Boom! Episode 75, recruiting for the cause. We had just defeated... Well, we had just defeated... What did we defeat? Fuck, I forget. Oh yeah, we had just defeated Ramuh. Just goes to show how long it's been since I did my previous episode. And having done that, well, the 12's is safe yet again. But there are more important things to deal with, so let's talk to Minfilia, and we'll fast forward through this, my boring parts, and get on to it with the next quest.
Now that the matter of Ramuh has for the present been put to rest, there is something I would show you, Chris. It is a letter of thanks, signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mugulmog XII, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they are meant for you above all others. I, too, must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Chris, and Eorzea is that much safer for your presence. Pray, do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man will foment strife on his own. And that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals, too, will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow. And there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylphs of Little Solace, who wish naught of conflict. Of Alice, who strives to unearth the terrible secrets of the calamity. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Alleg, though he might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall.
Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, Antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time.
Alphino, I take it the troubles in Ul'Dan no longer require your attention?
There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from Ellie. You recall the refugee girl? The one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you.
Why, Alphino, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out.
Oh, Buster.
Chris, you have been away from Revenant's Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozan was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit?
Oh, it used to be Slaffborn. What the hell? Now, I need to switch to the video for a second, because originally it was Slaffborn we met. I guess I have to talk to whoever it is, so I'll go back to side by side and speak to Yozan. Or maybe not. Oh, I had to take out some Hapolites again. Wow, I totally forgot about... Oh, there was so much we forgot about. We gotta rewind a... Oh my god. Oh my god, I forgot about Tataru's grand endeavors back in A Realm Reborn. Trying to figure out ways to gain money for the Rising Stones. Alright, let's see where... Oh, we had to get to Taru's... Oh, and that's why it took an hour for this video. Man, I forgot I had that ratty-ass chair for a while. But yeah, I had to speak with Brithael. Oh, what did she do? Oh, yeah, that's right. She went to, Oh, we had to... Tataru used to get into so much trouble. Okay, let's Okay, now we can talk to the children.
Look! It's Mr. Chris! He's back from his adventures! We heard you were all fighting primals and that they were some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to become heroes too. So we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Did you think you could train us today, Mr. Chris? Maybe you could show us how you fight the primals.
What's all this commotion then?
Mr. Boulder and Mr. Courtenay, do you know that Mr. Chris is back?
Oh, it seems. Welcome home, Chris. My companion and I recently became full members of the Scions. I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Boulder. This bookish fellow is Courtenay. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we've taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the art of combat.
I told you, Mr. Boulder. We are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Mr. Chris if he could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside him, don't you?
Well, certainly been diligent with your drills. I'm afraid the fiends of Ordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Chris? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will. Hori, if I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Well, mayhaps I am. But what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Chris? Would you consent to spar with me?
Hurrah! We're to have a tournament! Come on, everyone! We must prepare our gear for an outing!
Do try not to disappoint them, Have faith, Courtenay. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make this a worthy contest. Fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Yeah, this fight. Now keep in mind, I am wearing gear appropriate to the item level of the patch in question, so shall we expedite Bion's little trip? Here we go. It's good of you to agree to this, Chris. Trust you're ready to begin. Do it. We didn't have difficulty levels either back then. Very well. Let's not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Ahem. Hori, are you certain you wish to fight him alone? That is Chris you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, it was this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Chris to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello. You haven't begun yet, have you? Ada? What? Who are all these people?
When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. I could use a crowd to cheer you on.
Yes, and there are still more to come. When I mentioned Chris's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. Best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake.
Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder.
You shall soon see. On your guard. Here we go. So far, it's pretty standard. Ah, Savage Blade. I remember that. I didn't get it in time. Oh, but I won. That was quicker than what I used to do. You busted me. I yield.
That was incredible! He beat them both at the same time!
I knew you couldn't lose, Chris. No one can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea.
Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same.
Impressive as always, Chris. It's ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these tiny faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when we first met? It was at the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why Grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their homes was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The Legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue Grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. Was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people. These wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish. A wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascian is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray, let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stone. Alright, back to Mordone. Oop, other way. Let's quickly expedite Bayon's trip because I have better loading times than Bayon and can... There we go. Thank you for coming, Chris. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization. A group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Okay. What's next? Recruiting the realm, of course. Pray, forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus, have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation according to the Scions. This is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being primarily a military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the Antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed, with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I visit the 3 leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. It is reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and his discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lominsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. Alright, to Limsa. Alright, there's Alfie. Ah, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Bluefiston. While the Admiral and I are finalizing permissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Alright, going up. I know what I'll do. Yep, I thought the same damn thing. And where did we start? Yep, we started with the Blacksmith's Guild. For some contrived reason.
A precursor to a United Eorzean Grand Company? While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Naldic and Vermelis keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to expect some special commissions.
Yep, knew that was coming. We're pretty much following the same route. Oh yeah, the recompense officer has always been there. Actually, yeah, it's always been the seasonal event stuff. The Calamity Salvager has been the one to deal in spoils and whatnot. Rosswin. Eh? Who in the bloody ass do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on that dandy Carvelane's door. I should have started from the far end. But I'm a dumbass. Even now. Not much has changed on that aspect. Man, look at my hotbar. So pathetic. Hey, Riol! Well, if it ain't Chris, and not forget an adventurer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Riol, don't you? Formerly of the Company of Heroes. 3 Whistles at Bronze Lake? Ah, it ain't often I drag me ass up to Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare you these days? You're looking to put together a new crew? Up to your work? Ha! Sounds like a right lark, it does. Alrighty, lad, come in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Sounds super to me. Alright, now to take the Ethernet. Which I didn't think of doing last time. Now we're gonna knock on Carvelane's door, at the very least. Oh, I had to attune to the Culinarians Guild because I hadn't done it yet. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity? I must say your proposal intrigues me. The Krakens well know that there is a time to act and a time to watch. And I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. And of course we have to ask Rainair. Master Alphino's new organization. Yes, I had heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Laminsa must needs receive my full attention. Okay. Alright, off to the airship landing. I'm glad we have that teleport now. Where is the... Ah, there he is. Chris! Your recruiting went well, I trust. I am curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Laminsa. Ah, a member of the legendary company of heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. You could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seedseer proceeds as smoothly. Pray, continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nothica's altar. Well, seeing as how we're here... we will kind of expedite this because so many episodes to cover and I don't have that much time. Alright, Nothica's Altar, Conjurer's Guild. Where is the lad? There he is. My audience with the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Okay. Yep. I know what we can do. First, we will take the Ethernet to Miketo's amphitheater. Just not running all that way, like the dumbass that I was back then. Hey, Laurentius. Freshly out of jail, I see. Oh gods, can it truly be you? And what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler, a regular patron at Buscaron's. Yeah, now I remember. Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if jail had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. What of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Brooding, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? Matters stand, the wood whalers will have naught more to do with me. This may be just the second chance I was looking for. Revenant soul, you say? Leave at once. You should not regret this, I promise you. I am a changed man. Well, good for you. Fully. At least a lot of the lines haven't changed. Thankfully, we're not running around doing random errands. Hey, Alian and Isilduar.
Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry, we were just... Oh, this is it. It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then. And look how far you've come. Mother Mion tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Isilduar safely home.
Right, who's next? You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions? I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young master, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. Well, that's kind of sad. I really need to empty my inventory. Something fierce. But yeah, not a lot in the story has changed. Only a few skills here and there that are missing now.
It's not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise. But its duties appear less in focus. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized.
Cool. Back to the landing. I got so lazy after a while. What news, Chris? For my part, the Elder Seedseo was almost amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer. A company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Uldar whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Off to Uldar. Let's kind of expedite the journey. Through the hustings strip. Hello, Genlins. Goodbye, Genlins. There's Alfie. Yeah, no talking to Genlins past Kruznek. Uldar, the gilded city where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Chris. Cool. Let's see. Wait, where did he say? Oh, back at the promenade. And this is where we closed our episode. Odd. Okay. We will come back in just a minute. Until then, if you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, here are all the links provided. We'll see you in a bit.